Alright guys, I'm doing DC, I guess there's a video here by Watch Mojo, and it's called DC, Marvel Copycats, and they're basically gonna accuse Marvel of pretty much copying every character that they've ever done, so let's kind of watch it together, and I'll kind of I have a few things to say, and maybe if it makes sense to you guys, you'll take it. If not, the heck with it.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com. Today we'll be counting down the top 10 DC and Marvel comic book copycats. Just to clarify, we'll be pointing fingers at superheroes as well as supervillains who share much in common despite being from separate universes. We're also giving priority to higher profile characters over the extremely niche ones that no one takes seriously. Number 10, Justice League, The Avengers.
The team up is obviously a copycat. I mean, anytime four people get together to, it's a team, but you know, they invented the team up, which is absolutely absurd and idiotic.
Marvel's team arrived 3 years later with its own heavy hitters. Both teams regularly update their roster while defending Earth from enemies too powerful for any one hero to face alone. Number 9, Batman, Iron Man. Don't see the connection? Well, how about the fact that both heroes are multi-millionaire playboys with no powers that use their vast resources to design their own suits, weaponry, and gadgets?
They don't have powers, they have money, and then they use the money to buy their stuff, and they build their stuff with money, which, I mean, I guess I'm like them. I'm also a knockoff too, because I use my money to pay for my bills, and you know, obviously if I was rich and other people that are rich, I'd be a copycat. Absolutely absurd, idiotic idea.
Number 8, Robin, Bucky Barnes.
Oh wow. The assistant. Now they also invented the assistant, or a sidekick, because they did that. I mean, they've never had that up until this point, you know. Even though they were completely, totally different, you know, they don't have anything in common. And Bucky tries to kill Captain America, and just the way what they stand for is night and day difference. It's absurd. It's absolutely idiotic. You guys can watch this video later, by the way, if my voice gets irritating as you're watching it, but it's called just DC Marvel Copycats.
7, The Flash, Quicksilver.
Even running fast that's a bad thing. One's a mutant, the other one's a man that created those powers. One was born with the powers. Again, that's totally the same. So just being able to run fast makes you a copycat of Flash. And this is all going somewhere, guys.
Their color palette is unique, but they're both essentially blazing speedsters who ultimately ran for good.
So they run,
Number 6,
that's enough.
Brainiac, Ultron.
It's so different. Tony Stark and Hank Pym made Ultron, and Superman, that robot came from his old planet where everyone got destroyed. But again, they're made of metal, so they have to be the same. You know, it's a copycat. They're both robots.
Became a threat on the scale of the adamantium-covered Ultron, despite an all-new robotic look and a streak of ruthlessness in the 1980s.
All that remains of the old Brainiac is my programmed hatred for the Super Friends and my desire for their capture.
Number 5, Darkseid, Thanos.
If you know anything about Darkseid and Thanos, Darkseid's always been the same. Thanos was totally different. They bulked him up much later. He looked totally different. He wasn't that big in bulk. He wasn't that powerful. When the guy that wrote Darkseid moved over to Marvel, he bulked him up and he'd made some changes. He was not a copy. He existed beforehand, and then they made modifications. Just as Superman was just able to run fast in the beginning and jump over buildings, stop bullets and stop trains. That's it. As powerful as a locomotive, whatever. Other than that, nothing in common. They're bulky. That's what they have in common. Deathstroke is a parody of, Deadpool is a parody of Deathstroke. They said that from the very beginning. Give me a break. Don't be stupid.
DC's Deathstroke the Terminator arrived first in 1980 as a soldier injected with super serum.
But Namor came way before Aquaman. He didn't make the list somehow. That's one of the original founding members of the Justice League of America. Easily, they leave it off. Anything that makes them look like idiots, they leave off. And I'm telling you, you got to be really stupid to buy into this nonsense.
Look like the dozen swords in your back?
And Deadpool's just way cooler. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Yuck, gonna go hurl now.
That's gonna leave a mark. Oh wait, no it isn't. I have a healing factor. Yay me! Number 3, Clayface, Sandman. the odds that DC and Marvel would share
Sandman is made of sand. He flies around as a sandstorm. He only takes his form, or he gets larger or smaller. Clayface changes to different people, morphs into different people, takes on different appearances. Totally different, but again, you know, they're both made of, one's made out of clay and the other one's made out of sand. Hey, that makes them a copy. They look different, they do different things. Again,
Number 2, Killer Croc.
finally they gave one to Marvel. Okay, big deal.
In this unique circumstance,
Let's get over that one because there's something more important here I want to get to. And I'm trying to keep this thing somewhat short.
both have similarly evolved into larger,
So,
dinosaur-esque monsters.
This one was copied from Marvel. Killer Croc was copied from whatever this guy, I forgot, the Lizard or whatever his name was.
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow and Hawkeye.
On our list are the two archers
They're
who make exclusive
they both use bows. That's similar. You know, that's it. They're both members of a team and they're similar. So hold on, you guys. I want to make sure there's nothing after this. Because again, whenever they get over 10 minutes for me, it's impossible for me to do anything
every day. Be sure to subscribe
to be able to load it. Okay, guys. So the things that they did leave off: Batman. Tony Stark and Iron Man was considered a copy of Batman because they're rich and they use money to buy, you know, basically and build their toys. And Batman and Zorro. They're both rich. We'll leave this part out of it for now. They're both rich. They both fight crime. They're both masked. They both won't use guns, although they both, in the beginning, they both stopped. Both have trusty servants knowing their identity. Both have secret caves. Both started out being vigilantes pursued by the law. Both use psychology on their enemies to strike fear. Both are expert hand-to-hand combatants. Both have calling cards. One has the Zorro, the Z. Zorro has the Z. Batman has the Batman insignia. They both wear all black, and neither of them have any powers. I'll show you some pictures. But first, the biggest fraud, Superman. Superman is actually based off of a 1930 book by Philip Wiley, and they both have super strength. Both are bulletproof. Both can leap buildings in a single bound. They both grew up in a small farming town. They both pretend to be weak and meek to prevent people from suspecting they are really powerful. And both of them have special places to go when they want to be alone. And obviously, lastly, Superman. His first comic was basically a ripoff of even the cover of the book, so they can even come up with a different cover. Here's Superman's first comic book cover. 3 people on the floor. He's picking up something heavy, and he has a powerful stance. Here's the Gladiator that came out 8 years before him. 3 people on the floor. He's picking up something heavy. He's in a powerful stance, almost completely and totally alike. Now, Batman, Iron Man's a copy off of him because, he's got money and he has a suit. Batman has a suit and he's got money. So, makes sense, right? He hangs out on buildings, he jumps off, that's how it kind of patrols Gotham. I wonder who else would do that. How about Zorro? Yeah, he's what were buildings or considered buildings in those days. Anyway, completely and almost totally a ripoff. I mean, there's no imagination whatsoever, you guys. I mean, these guys pretty much are the same character. And the calling cards, obviously, This is how they knew it. And then when you saw the Z or the bat, insignia at night or the light, people knew to stay away or stay inside. Green Arrow. A complete and total copy of Robin Hood. They didn't even change the hair. They gave him a goatee. I mean, they made him an exact duplicate, you guys. An exact duplicate. But how come he didn't make the list? I mean, how come Superman didn't? Sorry. I mean, you have these guys. They're making a video, supposedly, that they're going to expose all these copycats between DC and Marvel. Why can't Marvel have gotten the inspiration from Robin Hood? Why is he a copy of Green Arrow. It's just idiotic. It just blows and boggles my mind. Why is Tony Stark a copy of Batman when they have almost nothing in common, but he has everything in common with Zorro? Superman, I mean, a completely stolen concept, man. I mean, everything. And he did not even give that guy credit whatsoever. And they worked for the same, I guess they even attended a publishing thing for the Superman, or wait, for his book, the gentleman that wrote Superman, or that has claimed that he wrote Superman. They were at the same publication company, and they went to each other's parties. I guess the guy was there, he attended, and he said never knew about him, never saw the book, never anything, but they had records of him being at the actual party where he basically stole the concept. Other than the fact that they're aliens, their background story is different. How does that make him different? Because I hear people argue that all the time. Oh, one lost his parents and the other one had parents. No, this is what they have similar. If Hawkeye is the same as Green Arrow, because they both use arrows, and the other guys, you have everything in common with them. They're almost 100% duplicates. I just don't understand that concept and the hypocrisy in watchmojo.com. I seriously, you guys, it's really mind-boggling. They won't even let me comment on it. They completely block me because I disagree with their viewpoints. But the people that attack me verbally in every which way, they're still allowed to talk because they're aggressive and they share that viewpoint. It just goes to show you, man, just what big hypocrites these people are. And this is not only it, guys. There's so much more there, so much hypocrisy and so many more lies. It's completely laughable. Anyway, hopefully I gave you guys something to think about. You guys take care. And if anyone wants to help me make videos, I mean, I've got ideas, I've got concepts. If anybody wants me to do anything on any hero, I don't know if you guys like the way I see things, let me know. Bye.